let's see what it does. So now it's recording. Okay. I hope nobody has anything against recording, because all that if it's fine for everybody who's joining in. So 24 of us. Yeah, maybe it's already 6:04, and if people have timetable scheduled so that you must do something else in an hour and a half, so let's respect that line. We can still continue a bit further. I'm sure we have a lot to discuss, but yeah, let's do so that let's keep the microphones muted as you have. If you want to have talk, there's the reactions and raise your hand, so you can then wave and have a talk in your turn. And please, if you have any questions or comments, do just interrupt. I hope it won't be too much of a monologue from here. That's why we're all here and interested in this common topic for us. And I'm really glad, and I'm taken really wanting to say welcome to you all. And what else? Yeah, type into the chat if you have some good like we already, Richard put his website. Richard has been doing a lot of research and finding about acoustics related to the timpani, how acoustics and also the other tools work. So there's an interesting website of his in the beginning of the chat text. So have a look at it, and you can put your own if you have something special you want to share, just put it there. The text gets saved, and I can actually also send it to all of you after we finish today. So let's see. Eivind, you are a new one. Hello. Can you hear? You're connecting the audio. So welcome. Yeah, I was wondering, because we're so many and we're from so many different places, should we have a quick round who we are and where are we from? So I'll shout out names here. So you all interact a lot in the Timpani Shop Talk. I've been away from Facebook for a couple of years, and now I'm back. So I recognize a lot of familiar names from my previous time there, and some new names. So let's have a quick round, just who we are and where we're from, so we know where we come from. So I'm Samuli. So I live in Järvenpää, and I'm timpanist at the National Opera in Finland. I teach at the Sibelius Academy in Helsinki, and the reason we put this all together is I have a new website called expressivemusician.com, and it's going to be my future site for online coaching and teaching percussionists, timpanists, and orchestra musicians. So I'm starting a webinar, planning to do a lot of webinars in the future with different kind of guests of topics that of interest. So this is, I've had two before, but this is sort of the main first to really launch with a good topic and with a great guest and all of you who are attending today. So welcome, and next Bernard is from there.
Hello everybody, I'm a mallet maker. I'm from Singapore. Yeah, and I met Samuli through Facebook, yeah, and I see many familiar faces in the webinar today. So I'm really glad to finally meet you guys on Zoom, because previously we were just talking on through messages and emails. So it's amazing during this pandemic that we are able to meet up like this. So I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you guys. Thank you.
Great. Then we'll go in alphabetical order. We have Bill Johas. Can you say?
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm from Canandaigua, New York, and I'm a retired percussionist and used to own Fall Creek marimbas.
Welcome, Bill. He's an absolute legend of instrument craft, tuning and building instruments. So welcome. Then we have Alexander. Hello, Alexander. You want to say hello? Okay. Well, you can say hi later on if you want, or if you don't want to say anything, it's also a possibility. No problem. So Andreas Nyström. Andreas there.
Hello, I'm Andreas. I'm study my last year bachelor now and gonna continue masters in the Royal College of Music in Stockholm, where I study both percussion and timpani for Mikael Nilsson, Daniel Berg, and Joakim Anteroth.
Welcome. Welcome. Then we have Bartos. Hello, Bartos.
Yes, hello. My name is Bartosz Saldan. I just finished my PhD in percussion performance in Krakow Music Academy here in Poland, and I'm a freelance percussionist and timpanist, most in Baroque side of timpani playing. But great to be here. I'm waiting to hear from other people. Thank you.
Thanks, Bartos, for coming. Thanks. Then Dominic. Hello, Dominic.
Hi, I'm Dominic. I'm studying a master's degree in timpani and percussion in Amsterdam, and I'm from New Zealand.
Okay, great. Welcome. Then Eivind.
Hello, my name is Eivind Siljeholm. I am the timpanist and percussionist in the Norwegian Army Band in Harstad in northern Norway. Very happy to be here.
Thanks. Welcome and greetings to Norway. Good. Francesco.
Hello. I'm Francesco. I'm from Italy. I was born in Florence, but I live in Parma, where I'm timpanist in the Filarmonica Toscanini since 11 years. Hello to you.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
welcome. Great. Then we have George.
Hi, everybody. I'm George. I'm a freelancer in the UK, taking a lot of auditions here and in Europe, Germany especially. Yeah, thanks.
Welcome aboard. Then I hope I'm pronouncing the names correctly. Hessian, or is it correct?
Hello,
Hello.
it's me. Yeah, my name is actually Xin.
Okay, Hessian.
I am from Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually a student of Bernard.
Okay, cool. Welcome aboard, Hessian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. Now we can't hear you. Still, we can't hear you. Still something on the lines.
He's
Well,
typing in the chat instead.
okay, cool. Thanks for being here. Okay, Lip. Hello. You're also on the lines. Well, you can say hi on the chat as well if
Is it me? I'm so sorry.
Yes, no problem. Hello.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm an undergraduate student from a local university in Malaysia. Yeah, I'm excited to join this webinar.
Thank you. Welcome. So let's see where Marcin.
Actually, Martin is my husband, and I'm Ian, and he play percussion, and I play violin, and he have now cancer, so I come to here. I finish and now we stay in Germany.
Okay. Well, welcome and Please say greetings there.
Yeah.
Great. Then we have Marco.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Marco from San Francisco. I play timpani in 2 community orchestras here. I have a very nice Goodman chain timpani. I also make mallets for the Brazilian surdo and other associated Brazilian percussions. Happy to be with you today.
Welcome, Marco. So then Monia. Hello. Can you hear me, Monia? You can type in also in the chat if there's trouble with the sound.
I think we should speed up the introduction. It's getting a bit draggy.
Yeah. So yes, we are almost all here. So let's change tactics. Does anyone want to say hi, or we can bump in? We have Paul and Gian, Ong. Then we have Richard from the States, Sampo from Finland, then WK and Zach. That's okay. So let's start it. So just a short intro for the finally we get in the talk. Thanks for being here. And the thing that with my website of the expressivemusician.com, and as the teaching and the coaching and the courses that I'm going to present out, my basic idea is to serve. I want to expand my dialogue towards all of you musicians out there, and for me, I feel that the best way to learn is to go through and teach things that I feel that are worth have been worth or a push or for an effort. So so in this learning process, it's when you want to have the dialogue with other people, it's we need to understand how other avid learners like you or who are here, you have your own goals and dreams and how you see and hear things. So we want to have the dialogue to find the ground, the mutual ground where we start understanding each other and see different kind of obstacles or problems. And we want to find solutions for those things. So for the mutual ground we have for understanding, as me, for a teacher, for example, it's for me, I want to learn how you hear things, how you feel things. So it's possible then to find mutual help and really find your own way of playing more, your own path of your musician's identity. And this is one thing that we will talk today with when we start talking with Bernard, because I feel it's quite it's actually important, the most important thing in being a musician. It's like your musician's identity, that how do you feel about yourself and your chances as a musician, and what kind of actions you take to become who you want to become as a musician. So the importance of finding your voice in music, which it's your, like we do not need copies of existing musicians out in the world, but we want to really find unique voices. Everyone wants, it's so nice to hear when people play in such different ways. We have the similar instruments or similar kind of tools, but everyone makes them speak in a different way. There's so many different ways of doing the same music, and that makes it interesting, that makes everything interesting, that brings the interest to have the dialogue. How do you do this? Or you do it the same way, or you do it totally different that I do. What's in there? How do you think and how do you feel about this? So this is something that I feel it's really important to strive as a musician. So you really want to sound like you do. So as a on my website, I talk about problem solving, and problem solving is finding solutions. And when you have figure out solutions, you want to learn about things. And one thing that, for example, what's one of the biggest things for us, at least in the percussion and timpani side, is what's the number one obstacle or the problem that we face when we play in an ensemble or in an orchestra? What's the thing that we're always being requested? They don't directly ask about this, but usually conductors say one phrase. Everyone knows what it is. So it's harder sticks, please, right? So this is sort of it's an obstacle. It's a problem to solve for us, and like any problem or obstacle, you want to first go through it, like, how can I solve it? And then if there's something that you can figure out, then you reach for other fellow musicians in your vicinity, or in a timpani shop talk, or wherever you call your friend, or you ask a neighbor if the neighbor happens to be a timpani enthusiast as well. So you want to find solutions and options to tackle this thing. And the principal problem that from the harder sticks, please, is clarity. This is what we're always asked when we're getting this harder sticks, please. Like whenever I hear it in rehearsal, it's like a minor head shake, because the conductors are some reason they are being cultivated into ask harder sticks from percussion or from timpani. Like they've been fed that it's the only way to clarity is to ask just for harder stick, but they never, what they're giving us is a solution, but they're never asking the same question from other instruments. Like, can you have a different mouthpiece trumpet, or double reeds? Can you change into a thinner reed or something like that? So this is never gets asked from us. It's usually just harder sticks. So it's both a head shake for the conductor's point of view, but also for me as a performer. If I get harder sticks, please, like, okay, there's something that I wasn't clear in my output. And sort of, if I just go with the changing the harder stick, I sort of, I'm problem solving in a one-dimensional way, in a way. So because I feel that the stick is it's 1/3 of the main equation of the sound. I talk about this in my PASIC 2020 presentation, that maybe if you saw it, I talk about the stick and then the movement and controlling your beating spot. Like these three affect your sound a lot, and they all are very meaningful, giving you the final touch out what you're playing. So for example, if I'm playing with a deep sound and I'm playing with a felt and I get harder sticks, please. So if I just change in the harder stick, but I don't change my movement and the position of my stroke, I just get the sound of the bowl changes more into a sound from the head. So it just changes into a different color. So the problem in clarity is also related to do I want to blend in the orchestra, or do I want to stand out? And I think as percussion and timpani, we have the best possibility in the entire spectrum of all instruments to make this decision, like completely be swimming in the texture, or really to stand out whenever we feel like it, or we're given the chance to do it. So when we're playing a timpani and when we're choosing sticks, I feel that it's always a compromise somehow. if you're playing some Bruckner symphony, then you can choose like a lovely roll stick and a low note that you just connect the strokes and it sounds like a beautiful long pedal tone. But then when you have, most of the time we have rhythms and rolls mixing in different pitches and with slack heads or tight heads. So it's always, we need to be very creative with our solutions. What kind of stick how can we get from the stick like those many different possibilities or those compromises of rolls combined to compromises of rhythms with controlling the stick and the beating spot and the movement that we have. So from this kind of a short intro, I would like to, if you have some note paper or pen that you want to write some, if you have some questions coming up or something, please take notes and or raise hands if you want to comment. So the equation of three things, we want to make sure that we can tweak the movement and the beating and control the beating spot, so we can start gliding the range of the sticks. And this is something also that has helped a lot, choosing the right kind of stick, so I can do the best minimum compromises in demanding texture. So I can, that one stick is not just one stick, but it starts to become, I make it softer or harder. So it really, the sticks as our main tools that deliver the energy to the instrument and the sound, makes the sound come out. It's very important. So when you start finding this range of utilizing one stick and how can you move it, I compare it to a brush, like a painting brush that you can paint with a wide spread or just from the angle, from the corner. So you can utilize the stick in similar ways. So because we want, in the end, when we have clarity in our playing, it means that we're versatile in our output. And when we're versatile in our output, we get job opportunities. Like we get a lot of, we get the next call as freelancers, or you get, as a student, you get good student studying opportunities, or you have chance to advance or win an audition. Or just when you're playing with your orchestra or your ensemble, you're really able to match the demands of conductor or whoever's leading and so on. So versatility is important aspect when we want to be really thriving as musicians, and we want to really find the way we play, because that's interesting. Somebody, if you copy just somebody, someone's already done it and made it already there. So there's no somehow no point in doing it, but make your own path so you leave a trail for that. So that's a good thing to remember. And there's also one thing that affects our stick choices quite a lot, which is the surroundings where we play. Now, naturally, if you there's musicians here who have positions in orchestras, so you have all of us have fixed settings where we play, our own halls or theaters, venues where we play, and we want to figure out, and we take time to figure out what are the options, how does the hall react to what way of our playing, how's the placement on the stage. For example, a year and a half ago, I was substituting a friend of mine in Lahti Symphony Orchestra, and the hall there is like a miniature version of the Concertgebouw, which is very different from the opera where I play, which opera is usually quite more damp in their acoustics. So just, I had to, of course, change the grade of the sticks, going harder and lighter, but also had to get more creative on controlling the resonance. So a lot of more dampening, a lot of more using dampers, taking notes from drums that I did not do before, or all this kind of inventive stuff. So this is really a huge exploration to find the clarity that we want to have put out there, so we don't get that harder sticks harder sticks from the podium. So solving the clarity from the stick perspective. So now we get more into the sticks. So finding sticks that suit your personality, like the way you move, the way we talk, we're all different. So finding the tools that match the way we are is very important. So it should be like a continuation. Like I don't know how you feel, but when I have a good pair of sticks in hand that really fit my way of playing, I feel that I have nothing in my hand. It's just like a continuation of the hand, that it fits like a glove in a way. So to search and try out for different kind of mallets, it's important, and now it's easier than ever. There's so many great mallet makers out there, and like we are here on the webinar. There was a couple of new guests who just arrived. Welcome to all of you. So there's a lot of options, a lot of great manufacturers that are out, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to kindly ask Bernard to join today, because how I got to know Bernard actually was from a colleague, Juha Lauren, who plays in the Lahti Symphony. So this was some 8 years, I think, 8 to 9 years ago or something. So I saw some new lines of sticks with Juha, and I asked, what are these sticks? And he said, oh, these are got from a mallet maker in Singapore. So, interesting. And Juha had one pair, which is Bernard CY2 Fluff, which is orange yellow colored mallet. And I tried it out once, like the first beats were like, I want this pair. I want to try this. And still today, even though I have almost 20 pairs of Bernard sticks, it's my absolute favorite of all the pairs. It fits my surroundings at the opera because we have a bit more damp acoustics, and I need a bit more, dig out more of the sound, but it never compromises on the rebound and the core. It always speaks out, always. And it allows me, it's quite a neutral stick, so it allows me to get quite mark out the stuff, or to rounding it out to get it a bit more even softness. So it really serves my way of playing and the way I move, and I'm able to use my fingers and my wrist and elbow and the entire hand. So I got in contact with Bernard, and after some more, now almost after a decade of then messages and sticks and talk, we got on a good email correspondence quite quickly, asked for more of his sticks, and he was very open for feedback. And this I find is a great thing about him, that he was so keen about how do I feel about the sticks that he does, and how can he do even more of a quality product that pleases the player, and he's proud also about the quality that he pushes out all the time. So we've managed to cultivate a good or not just good, a great communication, where they've helped me really to get out the kind of colors that I hear in my head and manage to get out of my hands into the drums and into music. So, and now during the pandemic also, we've had time to get together from our request. And we're starting with this webinar, so I want to have people as guests who have had an impact in my musical life and career. And when every day when I pick up my tools, it's a greeting from Bernard from Singapore to Samuli, to let's have fun, let's make great music, let's enjoy timpani playing. Sometimes everyone knows we get to play sometimes the favorite music, and sometimes we don't get to play our favorite music, but when the tools are fun and they're functioning, it doesn't matter, it's a joy then to do it. So I would like to, now with this long or short intro, how do you see it? I would like to welcome Bernard from Singapore. Thanks for being with us today with all the rest of the percussion friends. So how are you?
Everybody.
How are you?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I'm very happy to be able to meet a lot of you guys. About half of you guys I probably know through Facebook and emails. So I'm happy to be able to meet all you guys on Zoom. So as somebody was talking about stick choices, as a stick maker, it's a very interesting relationship that I have with timpanis, who are willing to tell me what they want specifically, and we have that what do I say? The relationship that is very symbiotic, because you guys are the one that uses my sticks, and I do not know how the stick works until you tell me. So as somebody was saying about projections, about hard sticks versus dynamics, these are the things that I, as a stick maker, will need feedbacks from a player. So I'm thankful to Paul Filbert, Samuli, that has been liaising with me for the past decade, telling me very specifically how they use the sticks. So again, communication is important. And as I was saying, stick choices.
Yeah.
Samuli mentioned about CY2 fluff. It's a very general stick. There is nothing special about it. This is a general cork core with 2 layers of felt. So as I was discussing with him, actually stick choices, most of the sticks in the market now are very well made. The sound, I believe, they all more or less sound the same in the hands of a capable timpanist. Any capable timpanist will sound good with most sticks. So end of the day, it all boils down to the balance, the feel of how a stick feels. So this is what I was sharing with somebody. There is nothing special about my sticks. The only thing is the balance. So my balance actually works very well with Samuli. So actually, that's why he came out to me and talked to me about mallets. Whereas the stick cores and the heads, if you take it apart, there's nothing special. Most, if not all, timpani mallet makers have the same recipes, if you do take the time to take it apart and study. So yeah, it's all about the balance of the shaft and the head and the length of the shaft. So this is it works for somebody, it works for Paul. Yeah. And somebody did ask me how did I started making mallets.
Yeah, let's start.
Mallets are very expensive. Mallets are very, very expensive. When I was studying in college, I bought a few pairs of cuttles. Wow. Back then, that was 15 years ago. A pair of cuttles cost me $200 a pair to fly to Singapore. So I took it apart, studied it, and I tried to make it. And that's how I started. So actually, I always encourage people, if you have the time, have the interest, do make your own sticks. And I think it helps a lot with, if you have an idea of how your sound you want, making your own stick helps a lot. So obviously at my stage, I have the privilege of working with a lot of timpanists. So I get to hear from you guys what kind of sound that you envision in your head. And from there, there's a lot of communication back and forth, sending the sticks over, getting feedbacks. And that's how I learned. So one of the problems that I have with many timpanists is balance. Sound-wise, again, as I mentioned, timpanists, usually you guys know your game, your strokes, you can make any stick sound good. So it's very much about balance. Balance as in your feedback, the way your hands work with the extension, which is the stick. So that is the intimacy that I'm trying to work with, to understand how you play and what kind of balance you guys like. So I usually talk a lot with timpanists to know what kind of sound are you looking for. Are you a very forward sound kind, where you want immediate response, or you want a laid back sound, or you're playing on calf, you're playing on plastic. So all these little things actually affects your sound. So I learned a lot from talking with timpanists. So in future, if you do have a melody maker that you are liaising with, tell us the more detail, the better, so that we are able to visualize the sound in our head and make the sticks. I imagine that that will work for you. Yeah.
You said one important thing, which also I wrote down when we had a chat a few days ago, that the how the stick swings is also important combined with the balance. So depending how the stroke of a player also is, how your sort of natural stroke, it also affects your balancing, right? A lot.
Yes. So what I meant was, for American style playing, they rely a lot on the sticks. So a lot of the sound from American player, when they use the wooden shaft, the sound comes from the stick. So the sound is very controlled and is always very fast, because they use very thick cores, very thick and wooden cores. So the sound is very immediate and very direct. So if you notice olden style American style players, they have a very focused sound and it's very fast. Whereas European style players, I'm generalizing now, European style players, they usually use a cork core with a lot of felt. So they have a delayed response. So this different kind of sound this day is becoming less relevant, because everyone is moving towards European style sticks, which is cork core and felted sticks. So how do I put this in words?
There's one thing that at least I can catch up from that. Even though I have similar bamboo sticks from you, whenever I choose a felt stick or whenever I choose a flannel stick, there's already, if I play with the same speed and some kind of stroke and some kind of sound, but the felt as a material is already, I feel that I need to play a millimeter in front always when I play with a softer stick. So this is also one dimension that I've managed to sort of start figuring out a lot, especially with your tools. That when I have a harder stick or a more direct stick, I can sort of be a bit later in the time pocket. But when I'm playing a fluffy round sound, I always need to sort of lean forward, even though I would be playing some laid back music or slow tempo music. But just as a continuation to your interesting comment, how the stick responds, the material and the weight is there. You also told me that the core, you see that the core of the stick is a very critical thing, and you told me that you've tried to concentrate, or you've actually managed to do it, that whether you have a small felt stick or a larger felt stick, that it works in pianissimo well. So can you tell us a bit how you came to this conclusion somehow?
I was sharing with Samuli. I believe any stick, be it big headed stick or small headed stick, it should work in PP right up to 40. So every stick should be able to speak at most register between soft and loud. There shouldn't be a stick that, it doesn't work when you play soft, because I've come across some sticks, it just doesn't work because the surface area is too much without contact to the core. So when that kind of sticks, it has too much felt. So it wouldn't work. So that kind of stick is limited to playing very loud single strokes, which I feel is a luxury stick to have, because it is limited to only that few notes. So I believe if you're looking for sticks, look for sticks. What makes a good stick? A stick that speaks at soft volume and forte.
Yeah. This is a good thing to remember on the like I told earlier, that there's sometimes you have to do compromise, or most of the time you have to do compromise. So finding a stick where you have to do minimum compromises, those are the kind of tools, when you find the tools that work for you, that they really allow you to bring out more vivid and live music and more colors to your playing. So, and like you said, that if you have some really specialty, like extremely hard, some thick leather, discs or very fluffy big mallet. Those are sort of special occasions then of course. But it's interesting to hear that this having this core contact, that when you manage to get the stick to respond and sing in pianissimo, it's sort of a key signal from that. Here might be the tool that can really expand into a lot of different things.
Can I ask a question about how timpanists feel about using cork core mallets on calf skin versus wood core mallets on calf skin? Because that's something that I never quite understood. As in, there are some timpanists that tell me it works, wood core mallets on calf skin. But there are some timpanists that swear to me that it doesn't work, because there's that low frequency that I never understood what it means. What is that low frequency thud? There's a thud sound that comes from wooden core. So this is a recurrent theme that I've been hearing from many timpanists, that wood core mallets doesn't work on calf skin. So I would like to know more from the timpanists here, including you. What's your thought about wooden core felted mallets on calf skin?
Okay, so Paul, you're up next.
Yes, thank you. Thank you firstly for hosting this. This is wonderful. I am the strongest advocate of Bernard's mastery of stick making. I don't travel anywhere without his sticks. They're superb. For anyone who doesn't know, many years ago now, I was the founding principal timpanist of the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra. Through a very complicated route, I am now timpanist of the Royal Scottish National Orchestra based in Glasgow in the UK. To answer Bernard's question, for me, there's something in wood on calf skin that it offers what I would refer to as false information. That there's something in the feedback that you get in your hand that to me does not feel true to the essence of the response which I'm used to getting when I use a cork-headed stick on the same skin. And over time, I mean, I think probably the most longest standing example I have is some of the first sticks I owned were by Hans Rossmann in Germany. And because I didn't really know what I was doing originally, I ordered the wooden and the cork version of the same sticks, and in particular 14 K2s as I remember them. I think they've been bought out now by Kohlberg, I believe. Yes, and to apply exactly the same stroke on exactly the same drum with a cork-headed stick and with a wooden-headed stick, you get more tone and a fullness and fatness of sound without, there is something of simply a more percussive, less melodic quality, for me anyway, when I use wood as opposed to calf. I'll shut up now.
Thanks. You can lower the hand if you also want. Bernard, do you have any comments? I could.
Actually, I've heard of that response from Paul before, so I'm familiar with that train of thought. Well, just curious about what other timpanists think about this, because again, I am a mallet maker. I do not play on timpani as much as you guys, so I'm unable to envision how does the response of a loud playing on timpani is in orchestra. So I'm curious, does Mr. Jones know anything about this? What's your take about wooden sticks on calf?
Well, I'm with Paul. I sense the transmission of the energy from the wood core into the shaft, and I don't like that as much. I used to play on completely American sticks, wood shafts, and I didn't like the feel. I didn't like the response. And so I moved to the bamboo and non-core sticks. You know, I like the flannel or a cork core. And I just didn't like the feel of the stick in my hand with a wood core. So again, that's my personal preference. And I've gravitated towards, you know, using Bernard sticks because I'm with Paul on that. I think they're magnificent sticks. They give me so many different choices for color, especially in my orchestra, we don't play out loud until the concert. And so what I practice may not happen, you know, the dynamics I do in a rehearsal may not be what happens when the orchestra, you know, cranks it up. So I need that little extra energy there, and Bernard's mallets do that. I'm really gravitating, and I don't play calf because of the region I live in. I play on mylar, and I do like his flannel mallets, most of all, the different categories that he has, because I can get more colors from those sticks. During the pandemic, I've been moved clear to the back of the hall, and I've really had to anticipate my sound, and I've gravitated towards a smaller stick and less sound, and it really seems to work out better in blending with the rest of the players, because you still need to be able to hear the other musicians, and when all you hear is yourself, I can't blend and fit in as well. So I know that didn't answer your question about wood, but again, the energy from the core of the wood mallet, what I have played with in my early days before I had Bernard make mallets for me was I would put a barrier between the wood and the shaft itself, like a rubber or something like that, that would take out that energy transmission. And that worked okay. I did like that because I do like that articulation, that immediacy of sound that you get with the wood core. I was brought up on Goodman and Duff mallets, and that's what I was used to. And so I liked that sound, but yet I didn't like the feel of it. So that's my 2 cents for now. Oh, I was going to throw out this question. What's the problem with harder sticks? Why do we want to avoid harder sticks? I mean, what's the stigma with that? I mean, do we have to have this big, fat, warm sound all the time? My colleagues, when I use wood sticks, they really say, wow, I love that sound. I don't overplay. It's just right there. The sound is immediate. And yeah, it's hell to try and do a nice sustained roll, especially when you get old. But it's kind of an interesting color. I mean, when I listen to the recordings, oh, that actually worked pretty well. You know, it's not as harsh as I thought it was. So I'm just going to throw that out there on the floor for discussion at some point.
Yeah, if I'll catch up from here, just a quick response to the wood versus cork core. I feel that somehow, because wood is more dense in the material. Yes, there's light wood as well, but for some reason that the wood core that's been used in sticks versus cork cores of the same size, the heaviness makes the impact on the head slightly longer. And I think it might be splitting hairs, but these milliseconds really make an impact. Because if I play with a wooden core stick, I really need to play an upstroke instead of just letting it drop, because it goes sort of more like past the head, so it dampens the head somehow. That's my feel when I play on a wooden core stick. So I have also this feeling that it's a different kind of a response. But when I play just a wooden stick, like a baroque mallet or something, then it works with calf. Then there's something in it. But when you put felt around a wooden core, then I really need to emphasize of bringing the stick off from the instrument in order to make it more of a to speak. It somehow sounds like muffled when I play with a wooden core.
I agree with the milliseconds there, but isn't everybody taught to lift from day one, lift, and you control that amount of time on the head by your lift. At least when I grew up, that's what I was fed. So
I think, for example, I think a lot of, at least if I look at my history, I wasn't told to lift. I was just drop the stick. So, but what I've learned in the past years that have made a huge impact on my playing is lifting away from the instrument. Like the way I can move quicker and I can really control the sound better and the impact, everything. So it makes a difference. But whether it's a wooden core or it's a heavy stick with a cork core or something like that, I still need to when the weight of the stick goes past a certain point, then I have to lift it more and more. So so this is my experience of cork versus of wood. And maybe we can get to that harder sticks, please.
Sure. Personally, I don't like a core. I don't like the cork cores. I just don't like the sound. So I guess I have to disagree. I don't know. As I said, I mostly use the flannel and whatever Bernard uses in his mallets are okay. But in general, I had a whole bunch of English sticks that had the cork core, and I just wasn't a fan of them. I couldn't get the articulation that I wanted. So that's that. Bernard, do you still make a lot of cork core sticks? Is that what your main opus is?
Can I just add my my take on this about cork and wood? As a maker, I try not to instill in timpanis too much of a fraction between wood and cork. I want them to know that actually cork is a kind of wood. So people should be thinking about it more about density. So it's about the density response between contact points. So the reason why that you guys feel that there's millisecond difference between a wood and cork is because of the density going down hard onto the skin. So a cork is actually more forgiving and it actually bounces more. Whereas in a wood, because as wood is denser, when it goes down, it doesn't respond and not as forgiving as a cork core. So Mr. Jones, I really like your take about how we shouldn't be so fixated about not using wood at all, because wood can sound good if you follow up with a response. So end of the day, it's really about the hands of the timpanis. I believe very strongly the sound should be coming from your hands, not the sticks. Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, cork and wood are different, obviously, but there's also a number of different weights and densities with the wood core itself. I've experimented with that, and same with cork. I've done a whole bunch of heavier weighted cork. So what wood do you use for cork cores? And Paul, I mean for wood cores. And Paul, what have you experimented with wood cores?
I work with a lot of cork, rubberized cork, aggregated cork, and natural cork. I feel the one that is most controlled throughout the years, that is most stable, is natural cork. So I as a maker, because I need to be consistent with my work, I use natural cork. But there are some makers that use rubberized cork, but because that is man-made, so I'm unable to control the consistency of the cork. So I try to use the natural cork that comes from the tree itself. So it's actually the bark of the tree. As in wood, again, because if you approach it as an issue of density, there are many different kinds of wood with different density. So it's unfair to say, for me, it's unfair to think that wood has only one kind of sound. So please.
I agree.
If you have time, explore all kinds of sticks, because end of the day, it's about how your stick responds. So what Mr. Jones said was talking about the rebound of the stick. Is really about how you respond to the contact point when it reaches into the skin. So there many years back when I was still in Timpani Shop Talk, there was some videos about the slow-mo videos about how a stick enters the skin. I think that was that answered a lot of my question in my head. Why a cork core sounds like this when it goes deep into the skin, and why does a wood core sounds like that when it goes deep on the skin? It's about how the stick actually goes into the head, and that split moment, how does the modes actually vibrate. So I believe timpani should be approaching it about sticks about density and not so much about wood versus cork, because cork can be hard too. There are some corks that comes that is very hard. So yeah, as in just keep our mind open, and I believe that is how we should be approaching sticks. Should be coming from your hand, the sound, not so much about the sticks. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's have a comment from Francesco. Ciao.
Yes, ciao, hello. Sorry for my English, my pronunciation is from Italian. You know, we are not a good pronounce of English. What I developed as my thought with wood core. I don't have much sticks with wood core, but me, I'm a tall guy, more than 100 kilo, so quite big. And using my shoulders, using the heavy, not the weight of my body of playing. For me, the problem of the wood with the sticks I have, the most are capped. Some of you know, that's the balance of the sticks with wood core, of my sticks with wood core, are often with the balance in front of the sticks. So the sticks control the most of my strokes. And it's not comfortable for me. I must use, for example, I play on calf, and for me, balanced sticks with more neutral balance. I don't know if you understand neutral balance. No, with the balance more in the center of the sticks, help me to create a sound with my body, with my arms, in the way that can I choose really every stroke, and every note, how to play it, and how to control my weight, and so the kind of sound that I'm searching for. And if the sticks is too heavy or too balanced in front, that's the stick control more than me, so it doesn't help me. That's what I developed in my experience. Sometimes I use it when I have to play not too loud, often in typical Italian theater pit, that it's really dry, so I have not to play loud, but I need maybe some deep sound, so it helped me to have a bigger sound and deep, without force, without using arms.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's a great comment. I think I took a couple of sticks out from my stick. I think you are talking about how they balance from the.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Here it's in the middle.
Yes,
so
exactly.
This is Bernan's CY3. Yeah. So this is a bit from. This is quite centered. There's a little bit in the front. Just to compare, this is Akihiro Kato. This is a model Brahms. This is in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's really a small difference, but I feel that the acoustics that you talk, that when you play in drier acoustics, somewhat naturally you want to get more, you want to create more sound.
Yeah, because we have our house, in my orchestra house, is an auditorium.
Yes.
Built by Renzo Piano. So it's a typical auditorium, really resonant. So I often use light sticks and also flannel and leather. But we tour in other theaters, in the country. We often move, and so I have often to split, Yeah. And the typical Italian theater, the typical small theater like the opera houses in Italy are really dry.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's good overlap from this Francesco's comment to Richard's comment about, do we need to always sound big and warm and sort of muffled? I like somehow to go always according what's the music like. If it's a light and fast music, so I want to be on the lighter side of my tools as well. I want to play with a lighter sound. I want to choose a lighter stick so it doesn't sort of ignite so much sound. So I've my old my old love was that I really wanted to have a beautiful round sound all the time, but I've managed to put that opinion aside and find that the love towards all kinds of sticks, like there can be brilliant, fantastic hard sounds, medium sounds, and soft sounds. So I feel that this also affects a lot. That like if you play a Verdi opera or a Donizetti opera, for example, Donizetti is very light and bubbly, so you won't play the same like heaviest Verdi stuff with that same kind of thing or same kind of sticks. And also you might choose, if you have the possibility to choose smaller drums, for example, for Rossini and Donizetti versus Verdi or Puccini, of course, is modern romantic instruments needed, these kind of things. But I feel also that the natural tendency, because I play at the opera, and when I went to study in Germany with Rainer Segers in 2006, 2007, and I realized that why he, for example, he never used a bigger stick than his, I think it's equivalent to the Kato 3M Segers model. He played the biggest Bruckners and Mahlers, but he never went to a big or heavy stick. But he always got from the neutral like middle range to the lighter range, and his way of playing, of course, is he gets all those overtones to kick out, and he can really float on top of the orchestra. But he never uses a heavy mallet. And one of the things that I learned from him was this impact that like we discussed earlier, that when you go deep into the head and the impact is delayed, it muffles your sound. So when you take big tools without lift, you won't gain a bigger sound. So there's a lot of this boils down to the technique, and really, if you want to have a big stick or a special stick or a super hard stick, you can play with a hard stick but very soft movement, for example. So it's really juggling different kind of characters and needs. Like, what's the tempo of the music? Is there a lot of time for the notes if you play pa 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 pam instead of taka taka tam? So what do you choose? So at least for me, it helps always when I sing it out and I think of, okay, how can I da 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 instead of boom 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 boom? What kind of tools do I need to combine with the movement and the hands and so on? I don't know if it answers the question to this, but somehow the natural way, like Francesco, you said that being in a dry theater acoustics, you have to make more of the sound. You don't get it for free, like in a beautiful shoebox old concert hall like Vienna Musikverein or the Konzertgebouw or something like that, where it goes out very easily. And they also use very different sticks. But my colleague Heikki from the opera, he just came in a few minutes ago. I remember he told me that he was on tour. Was it so that in Musikverein in Vienna, when they played on tour, he was using the end of the spectrum, and then there was some other hall. Heikki, maybe you can tell your.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I just rehearsal was quite late in the schedule, so I'm sorry I'm coming so late. But yes, to continue the story, on a tour with the Lahti Symphony Orchestra in Ljubljana, and then I'm sorry, Bratislava, and then next day Vienna. Two different halls, same orchestra, same music, same conductor, same everything, but just hall change. And I have a range of 5 mallets on the table, and only one pair was the same. Which Bratislava was the hardest, and the same mallet was in Musikverein was the softest.
Yeah. So this is a great example that Heikki just told, that it really the surroundings changed the choice of your tools so much. Like, where do you play now? Where do you play the next day? If you play touring all the time, or you play a steady house, but then the program changes. What's the tools for a certain music and so on. So it's a never-ending soup to stir around. So. Any other?
Can I add just a thing?
Yeah.
I think it was about I think we should talk also about what the people around us they play. What I mean is, Probably every orchestra depends on the whole they play and the sound they developed during the years. Every orchestra developed their own way of pronounce the syllable of the music. No, you understand what I mean? No, obviously it depends on the repertoire. No, what you talk about before is no, some music that speak faster than from other music, but also the way of playing, the way of using the bow, the way of response of the on the gesture of the conductor, the way of blowing, the way of to prepare the sound is different from orchestra, no? Because it's different from also traditions, no? And what we should understand is how to fix our way of playing and our way of pronounce the notes and the syllable we should when we play, the syllable we choose to that fix better also for our orchestras, no? Because, for example, Italian orchestra have a really different way of use the bow and the winds from, for example, German orchestra. Also me, I studied in German. And when I came back, I had these ideas, about the German sound, the German way of playing, this big and with sound, with different range, but it's different the way of playing in Italy for tradition.
Yes, this is a great thing about having the tradition, how you approach it, and like what kind of tradition you want to build. Where do you start from? Like, who's your teacher? What kind of a tradition you learn? What kind of basics you learn? Where do you go study more? Do you study in similar surroundings? Do you go somewhere totally different? I still feel that like the comparison to Pablo Picasso is the best, because he learned all the styles, but he never got stuck into any of them. So he was just like a kid. I saw in Copenhagen some years ago, he was an exhibition of his pottery, and there was a video when he was a very old guy, but he was having fun, like everyday objects, and he was turning a wine carafe into a bird, or into a nun, or into a devil, or into flower, or whatever, and he was just smiling when there was a video clip of him doing in his atelier. So this kind of mindset of a musician, like getting all the input in and then digesting it, take it as it is, and then filter it and combine your own mixture. That comes back to the unique sound. Like, how do you sound? It's okay to, if you want to have your own personal sound, or if you want to go on with a tradition that you want to preserve that tradition, everything's fine, as long as it fits your idea of your identity, how you want to play. And this also, it's also, we cannot sort of ignore this, like you said, Francesco, that you go to study in Germany and then you come back to Italy and you have a German influence. So you sort of when we go auditioning, for example, that we like to also know that where we're going to audition, that what kind of a culture there is. Like, do we go play totally different from that, or do we want to have a sense of what it is? But the way I see it is that when you're a musician, you have versatile skills that you can really be like a chameleon to switch in between. Then you are most likely you're an interesting musician than in more different surroundings than in one place. I hope I explain it clear enough. Bernard, you have a comment, please.
Sorry, I was listening to what Francesco was saying about different acoustics in his orchestra. So I'm curious, how do you choose sticks? When do you use flannel versus a small-headed stick for clarity? So what makes you choose a flannel versus a small-headed sticks? Is there a difference?
Yes. Not too much. I don't use many small-headed sticks. I prefer to split often with the flannel, or the leather. and maybe to jump the little sticks head could be too similar, no? If I have to choose with small felt head and maybe bigger flanella, the most of the time I prefer bigger flanella, and then jump the first step of the little felt head, maybe jump to the next step of felt head. But that's my opinion. You understand? For example, I don't know if you I prefer to use flanella, bigger flanella like 3624 from Cato, and after to split with some middle felt, and not too much to use smaller felt head. Okay, did you understand? Sorry for my English.
Oh, there's another mallet maker here.
Yes, Bart has his hand. Hello,
Good
Bart.
evening. Hello.
Evening. Hello, nice that you're here.
Super initiative. Sorry, I'm late.
No problem. Glad you are here.
Cool.
You want to have a comment on what's the discussion
Just to
going on?
introduce Bart over here is also a mallet maker. He has his brand is Picard. And the pictures that he posts are amazing.
Thank you.
Well, is it so that both you, Bernard and Bart, both have quite similar reasons when you started? You were both studying and the sticks were out of reach, price range. So you both started sewing your own sticks and solving that stick problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to put the attention on me. I just love to listen about what Bernard thinks and get inspired. I don't want to take any of the time. I mean, just like that. Just to answer shortly, yeah, of course, it was a money question, but I think what Bernard also has, I think you also have to love handwork and to create something. And this I did since I was a kid, to make something with my hands, especially wood, like that.
Okay, we mostly, at least there was some delay from your comment, Bart, unfortunately. But yeah, if I can relate shortly to the comment of yours that, like you said, that you have to enjoy the handcraft, you have to enjoy what you're doing, and like I told, we were talking with Bernard, like how could I say, that his philosophy, like Bernard told me, that you want to make mallets that when a player picks them up, it's fun to do and play with them. And I feel that this is the greatest starting point for whether you're a mallet maker or a musician or whatever, that you really speak from within, and the result for you is then creating beautiful mallets that keep going better and better, and getting all the feedback culture in your development, which is important. Like Bernard has said, that he can't figure it out all by himself, so he's open to all the feedback. So this kind of mentality, working from from what's of interest to you, and then like Bernard's language, part of his musical language is crafting those sticks, so we can enjoy them, and then the audiences can enjoy them a lot. So this is the same, probably the same that you were talking about, Bart. So
yeah, I think
not just
every player, timpani player, I see it like oboe players make their own reeds. It's the same for me. The the things I learned about projection and about tone, and for which composer to use.
Now the connection is get a bit tricky. Still, it's unfortunately, but we cannot hear. You're talking about.
I could have never have learned if I wouldn't make sticks. I would suggest to everybody to do that.
Yeah. So it's a big process in learning your skills. And
I will just listen.
Yeah. So it's a big thing to learn about your own sound, how you sound, and when you realize how the tools work. So I think that's your core of a comment.
Yeah.
Heikki has a hand up also. Let's have a brief comment from Heikki. Are you still there?
It's getting back to the this idea of the small head of mallets or having the flannel, and just a comment from that, because I feel that it's quite a lot to do with the boom of the drum when it comes, depending of the music and the hall and the drum and everything. And if it too easily makes boom too much for the purpose, for the music situation, so then I feel I need to have something lighter, so that I kind of can make the sound. Okay, then the hardness I choose accordingly, but the sound doesn't get too big, too for the purpose. But if the situation allows me, of course, then I can use and the music requires, then I get the heavier one, whether it be flannel or felt, depending of the attack then I want. But it's something to a lot to do with the depth and the boom for me, the size of the head and the weight of it.
Yes,
that's my.
Coming back when you, Heikki, mentioned the flannels, one thing that I feel that combines quite a lot of flannel sticks is that they, like Richard earlier said, you have a little bit more options getting different colors with the mallet, with the flannel sticks, and somehow there's a bit more, depending of course who have made them and what kind of flannel material, but a little bit more overtones in general in flannel sticks than in the felt sticks. Like felt is, of course, material is more softer, more smooth, and flannel is more of a, you always have this snap engage in it, but there's something that sparks the overtones more, and especially with calf heads, when you really whip on the drum and lift the stick really quickly away. So there's something that that the material also brings to it. Bernard?
It's another question. You mentioned about slabs, the flannel slab.
Yeah.
So I have a few of Kato sticks, the Kato flannels, and some timpanis tells me that they love that slab a lot, that tick on contact point. Why is that so?
Yeah, it's very
articulation, the immediacy of the sound. It helps me get the sound out sooner. That's why I like that slap, and I learned to use that slap as part of the overall sound. I love the slap. Again, I'm not a fan of that big, warm, lugubrious sound all the time. I'm there for articulation and pitch. Those are my two things first off. Then I can control the color. I don't want to get yelled at, harder sticks, harder sticks, harder sticks. You know that. Nobody likes that. So.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Bart, you have something to continue from here? You have still the hand raised. You can lower it if you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, one thing.
I thought it meant hi.
Okay. No, it means that you want to have a comment, but I was wondering, because now we get to this, there's a slap versus bum. So I made a short, very quick video of different excerpts with different Bernard sticks where you can hear different kind of articulations. Would you like to hear it? Shall I play it? It's about 5 minutes in total.
Yes.
So I'll share the screen. And there's
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So let's see, quick time player here. So I will share sound, and I'll play it from the beginning to make sure that you all hear it, and then you give me a thumbs up when you hear it, then I restart it from the beginning. So there's a lot of excerpt here. There's Tchaikovsky 4, Mozart 39, Beethoven 7, and Lohengrin from Wagner. So let's get started, and give me thumbs up if you hear the sound. So that was the C. I'll make quick comments. So that was the CY2 fluff. That was my first love of Bernard sticks, and it's still my favorite. So as you see, this is a power excerpt. I play a lot, and it never goes over. I'm playing like 85% out of 100. So it never gets this crushed, and there's always the quality present, and there's a little bit more weight in it to get the sound out. And I find that this has been a great mallet for at least for my touch at the opera where we play. So this
Can I ask something?
Yeah. Yes.
So why does it never? So you say it doesn't have a limit, right?
Yeah. So I can never. The way Bernard has designed it is that I sort of never can. I can overplay if I start making really more of a snap and more of a stiffer and really trying to be 100%. But the way he's made it is the core and the felts that almost never breaks the sound.
So how is that done? It really interests me, because this is what I'm looking for, is something where you can always actually play free, or let's say the emotion that you have inside, which in a concert really easily comes out, and you really easily overplay. And if those are sticks that help you sort of not to do that, so how do you then construct such a stick?
Yeah. Maybe, shall we have a small round in the end that Bernard can tell you about the sticks. We're also closing to the 1 hour and 30 minutes. So if there's somebody, if it's okay to continue a bit past, is it okay for people?
Just a quick question, quick answer to Bart.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your pictures of your construction. The answer to you is your recipe is pretty similar to mine. It's yarn, cork, and felt. That's all. So it's about the balance of the height of the cork versus the width of the cork. So I'm playing a lot with that to find that sweet spot between too tall. When it's too tall, there is not enough. The tone becomes very not clear. There is no clarity when it's too tall. The core. When it's too wide, the articulation is too much. It becomes very aggressive, and then the pitch actually drops. So I'm playing around with that. I believe you have perfected your recipe. I look at a lot of your pictures, and I'm agreeable with the proportion between the size of the head and the shaft. I think your work is amazing.
Likewise.
So I believe your sticks have that same quality too. That is very difficult to overplay with your sticks based on looks.
Yeah.
Super,
man. Nice. That's a cool story. That is interesting for everybody to know.
So as a stick maker, it's a lot of experiment between the size of the head inside the middle core. Exactly. Not so much about outside. It's really about the shaft and the inside head. So that is the pain that we go through. The proportion of the balance.
Right, exactly. Well, you said it. Super.
Yeah. So hope you get a clarity in the question about the
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So there are sticks that actually the design, like you just experienced, that explained that it allows that there's no danger of overplaying. So okay, let's go through. I have a set of different flannels and different felts. Next, we're gonna go Mozart. So this. So this is one of the smallest flannels that Bernard has. Is the FS26. So it's actually very light for a flannel stick. So this gives you a good military kind of articulation in the play. So I have of the Mozart. I have two more felts to come up, so we can compare and then discuss. Now it's a small felt next. So this was a smaller felt, SC1. So you hear that there was less of the articulation, but it was somehow there's snap still in this very small felt stick. So I found that this is a nice hybrid in between the stick. Bernard, you had a comment?
Sorry, it's interesting that you have a video about this mallet.
Yeah.
So this mallet is a combination of wood on the inside, and there's a layer of cork on the outside.
Aha.
So it's interesting that you have a video of the stick because again, I would like people to think of sticks as density rather than just very dualistic wood versus cork. No, is think more about density because this is actually a combination of both. So the reason why this stick is able to give that kind of clarity, but yet it's in between because there is a wooden core within that's speaking. So if you go very hard, the wooden core will come out. The clarity from the wood will speak when you go very hard.
Okay, no
so
one.
When you're playing soft playing, it's all activation from the cork. So again, this is a stick that I spend a lot of time experimenting on.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that you have a video of this stick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Let's combine this with the CY series. I have the C1, CY1, which is the smallest of felt. So this was the CY series, and this is now just the cork core, right? Yeah. So you can hear it with the flannel, which was quite hard, and I was playing a bit sort of too much, so it was easily became quite aggressive in the articulation. Also, I found that this was the sort of the softest. I tried to play these all three with quite similar way, but there's a clear difference with these three, and it's interesting that the SC1 in the middle that had this dual core. Interesting to hear. Shall we go on? It's not many videos to go. So now Beethoven 7. So now, because it's the 30 millimeter flannel, now we can hear the slap that we were talking about. The smaller that I played the Mozart with, there wasn't, because it's such a small head, there's not much of this slap, but now when there's a bit more of a disc there and it's more wider, now the slap starts to come out. So Bernard, please.
I would like to ask you and Mr. Jones, do you find this stick too soft? No, soft is not a good word. Do you find this stick lacks the tick? Because I'm pretty conservative when I'm choosing the materials. So I find that my sticks are way sweeter sounding than other flannels, and I'm not sure if that's correct.
I don't like what it does to the pitch. All right. I think we lose a lot of the fundamental. Can you go back and play that again and just
Yes.
listen to the overtones, the colors?
I'll just type Zach, remind
Right.
of the carbon. Yep.
The articulation is fine. I just didn't like the color of the pitch.
The Beethoven.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm playing here very close to the edge, the rim. So it's very snappy sound and thin sound anyway. So you're correct. There's less of the fundamentals that are present because I don't play so much also into the drum. So it's more of the overtones, brighter stuff ringing there. It's true. Shall we continue still?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
About to Bernard. What you said is super interesting from a maker point of view. That you said that your flannels sound a bit more direct than other flannels.
No. It's the other way around. I make it too sweet sounding because I'm afraid of bad sounding sticks, which might not be a good thing. Because I've tried a few katos and the sound is very immediate and there's that tick sound. So me as a maker, I do not like that sound of the tick, that contact slap, that slap sound. But as I've heard from many timpanists, actually that sound is welcomed. They see it as articulation. So I'm just curious if my stick is lacking that articulation. Is it too not enough bite?
I don't know. I think it's immensely difficult to judge sound like this over speakers and record it. I'm just very interested in how your search for flannel was and how you look at the material. So how you it's just.
I would love to share with you how my journey of finding fabrics around the world. So I went to Japan, I went to Thailand, I was in 5-6 years back, I was in Taiwan. So I went to 3 different countries to find fabric and I just punched out the felts and I tried. So end of the result, I chose the one that sounded the sweetest. At this stage, I'm wondering if choosing the sweeter sounding material was a good choice because I'm not a timpanist.
Bernard, you know that your mallets evolve. The longer you play them, the softer they get. And you still have that little bit of punch with your flannel mallets. So I wouldn't change a thing. I like them on plastic. As Zach said, his teacher said you never use flannel on plastic. Well, that's one philosophy, but I think it sounds great on the right Mylar head with the right amount of time spent. If they're broken in, they sound fantastic. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get that little bit of slap, yet you can get the warmth that you're looking for, at least that I'm looking for. So I think your ingredients, your recipe is excellent. I wouldn't change a thing.
We can, if we listen to further, there's this, sorry, there's the Lohengrin that I play on felt and flannel. Here I have a pair of flannels, the FS33 that I have had, I think 7 or 8 years, and they're really well broken in, and they're still, like Richard said, that there's the best of the both worlds, that you get the articulation and even some of the small slap in there. So shall we listen to a bit further? Yeah. So we're already now 10 minutes past, but I see that there's still 27 people there, so we continue a bit, yeah. I'll move on to the next. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is SSC1 again. One rim shot to go with it. So then we have again the same, but with the CY1. So this was a bit more softer. I was still playing quite close to the edge of the drum, just to make sure that I have the same sound for this different kind of sticks. So this was these three. So the last two ones I have is the Lohengrin. It's a short excerpt, short few bars. There I have this CY3, which is a big felt, and then I have the big flannel, which is the FS33. So there you can hear still the articulation. So that was with the felt. And let's have it with the flannel. So there's a little bit of differences there, but you can hear with the flannel that there's this small slap and this articulation that is desired to some extent. So I'll stop the screen share now. So just a few examples how the sticks work. It's now the same surroundings, but if I would think like the Mozart, if I would be playing in a lively hall, then I would choose the very hard edge of the sticks. But if you would be playing in the opera pit, I would probably choose the third option, which was the bigger, smallest flannel felt. So it's always if you have more tools to choose from, it's nice. But when there's lesser of sticks to choose from, then you start being creative on the way you move and how you place the strokes. So yeah, there was one question that I typed in the chat that you probably all saw. There was about the fiber shafts. Zach, would you like to? Or no, it was Richard no, Richard and Zach was talking about it. Yeah. Any comments on carbon fiber? I have almost zero experience on those.
Well, I can say.
Go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that I really like carbon fiber because it has the like shock absorption qualities. Because like Richard, you mentioned with wood shafted mallets, you have that like that energy transfer that I don't like either. And bamboo to an extent gets rid of that, but for carbon fiber shaft, like I don't feel any of that energy transfer, like absorbs the shock of the head or the mallet hitting the head, which for me, I appreciate it. I feel like it gives me a more buoyant feel off of the head. But I mean, there is a variety of, within carbon fiber. I mean, you have the tapered shafts and straight shafts, and how thick the carbon fiber is affects the weight quite a bit. So you have some carbon fiber that has a very similar weight to, the heavier Tonkin bamboo, but the thinner carbon fiber is very light, similar to the bamboo that you see like on the old Duff mallets without the knot in the middle. So there's a variety of carbon fiber, but I really like the feel that they give. I have heard some timpanists say, though, they feel that carbon fiber doesn't give as full of a sound as bamboo does, and that I don't really have a comment on, but I feel wise, I really like carbon fiber.
Okay. Bernard, you had something, you were pulling out the shafts from your bag. Do you have carbon shafts there?
Just in case people didn't know what carbon fiber was, I have the entire series of Louvre at Stefan sticks at Stefan. So this is what it looks like, and I was saying tapered because I believe Louvre, Jeffrey Louvre of Louvre Mallets, his idea was to perfect the bamboo sticks with carbon fiber. So what he did was he managed to get it tapered. So by tapered, it means it has towards the head is thinner. So the balance is actually more towards, it's more neutral as compared to a straight shaft. So if you have a chance to try his sticks, please do. It's similar throw to a heavy bamboo sticks. And yeah, I like them a lot, but I don't have a chance to use them. So yeah, if you have a chance to try his sticks, please do.
Anybody?
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah. Anybody else experiences with the fiber, carbon fiber?
I think it's great. As I use bamboo, I don't use the carbon fiber because I believe quite in what has been and how it always has been done, and this is what I would really like to maintain. But I have a couple of pairs and I think they're great, and they have such a big advantage when it comes to balance because they're perfectly the same. And in bamboo, oh man, I mean, what is inside a stick is a mystery. It's or air, or because it's a plant, it's not wood. So this is a green plant that gets hardened or they get carbonized, and you never know what is in there. And not one bamboo stick is the same. So we can weigh and see the thickness, but it will never be as perfect as carbon fiber. And I think it's great stuff. I don't know about the flexibility though. Of course, when you make a fishing rod, they're insanely flexible, but when they're just 37 centimeters, I don't know if they really do as much as bamboo does, but I think it's great.
So Bernard and Bart, do you make any sticks that are carbon fiber? I know, Bernard, you sent me some of the Luft mallets that you were working on at one time, but what do you have now with carbon fiber and flannel? Do you have a series of those yet?
Just to answer one of the, you guys are talking about vibration in the carbon fiber shaft that because it's man-made. So what Louvre actually managed to design is he actually has an insert, a rubber insert. This is a sports material from called Sobtain. I'm not sure if you guys know. It's an anti-vibration rubber material they inserted into the shaft. So this actually solves the problem of the stick vibrating all the way when you strike it. So a normal, a regular carbon fiber shaft sounds like this. So this is Daniel Kirkpatrick sticks from 15 years ago, 10 years ago. DK percussion. It doesn't have it's empty inside. So this is what it sounds like. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I can't do it anyway. So when you play with these sticks, there's a lot of vibration coming from the shaft. So some players find this difficult to work with. So what Luf did was, again, there is a rubber insert here that solved that problem. So it's actually pretty perfect to me that the shaft is tapered. Because of the taper, the balance is much easier for the players to control, rather than being front heavy and the sticks being controlling your sound, like what Francesco said. Heavy sticks controlling your strokes, and you become tired, fatigue sets in. So if you have a chance, please try that. And answering Mr. Jones' question, I'm actually I was intending to work with Luf to make his sticks, but the pandemic came, and orders around the world, all makers suffered. All our orders went down. So that is in the talks now. But when business picks up again, I will be making sticks with him. Just to answer your question, if I'm making carbon fiber sticks.
Great. Do we have any questions still? We've gone almost 2 hours, so maybe we should start to wrap up. It's 1 a.m. for Bernard in Singapore, and so on. So yeah, I recorded this, and if you want, I could do so. That I saw on Facebook that you can do a separate group that with people who have been attended. So I will try to maybe put it there, or send you email a Google Drive link, so you could watch a replay if you want. It will be fun. Like, and also like Bernard said, that there's a lot of us here gathered today from around the globe, which I find is amazing. I thank you all for being here. And wow, I'm actually really thrilled about this conversation. We could go on. Maybe we should organize part 2 at some point. Now we all get some new ideas and new questions rolling in our heads. So maybe, like Bernard said, and ask the mallet makers, Bernard, Bart, whoever does them, have their ideas. Like with any profession, that you have an idea that you want to reach this, and how do you get it there. So let's work on the dialogue. And now when we have these fantastic easy gears of Zoom and Skype and Teams and all the stuff to get in touch. So maybe I would love to say thanks, and then we will have, like I promised, we will have a drawing that somebody gets a free pair of Bernard's mallets. So I would like to ask Bernard to be our lucky. You will choose who will be lucky winner. So can you say a number between 1 and 32?
Today's date is the 23rd.
22. Okay, so
23.
23. Okay.
Up to you.
No, you choose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, or 22 or 23. Which one is now?
It's the 23rd in Singapore.
Okay. So Mass Buchert is the winner of free choice of Bernard sticks. Congratulations to Mass. And you can contact Bernard in Facebook. So big thanks to everybody who's been here. A lot of thanks for all the ideas and for the talk and for the interest. Yeah, all the best to you, all of you around the world during these times. It's better to overcome this kind of big long hauling epidemics when you have your ideas in a long-term way, like you plan ahead couple of years, like what the sticks could be, or what your playing could be, or what the industry could be, you know, to keep things on the move towards the better end of all of this. So yeah, I think we organize a Timpani stick talk #2 at some point, because it was fun, and I feel that we just got started. So we will definitely organize a #2 soon. So let's keep in touch. I will keep all of you informed, and you will receive an email when the #2 will take place. So if there's no more questions or anything, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Bernard. Thanks for all the lovely comments, and hope you got inspired, and get crazy with your tools. Like, imagine you're a 5-year-old kid, you're a mad scientist with a 5-year-old mentality, and you go explore your instruments and sticks, and you find new things and have fun, like Bernard says, that to have fun with the sticks that he makes, that it's his #1 goal. So we enjoy playing with his beautiful equipment. Okay, 5 to 8 here, and 5 to another even hour. I wish you all a very pleasant weekend, and thanks for your attendance. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Samuli. Thank you, everyone, and until next time. Ciao, ciao.
Yes, keep in touch, people. Keep in touch.
Thank you, Samuli. Thank you, Bernard.
Ciao, grazie. Buonanotte, buonasera.
Buonanotte.
Bye. Ciao. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry, Samuli, can I check with you? Who won the sticks?
Mass. He's from Denmark. I will send you his.
Okay. I do not know who that is.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Bernard, for this session. Really turned out to be fantastic.
Can I get the recording from you?
Yeah, sure.
You're playing.
Yeah. I will. I think maybe. Do you want to have an own copy, or is just the online version enough? I can hide a link to YouTube that you can privately go look, or.
Yeah, I'm very surprised with the sandwich course recording that you did.
Yeah.
I totally forgotten you have the stick.
Yeah. What I was.
SC.
Yeah. What I was actually planning that I would do, so that I would still do a bit better versions. I'm trying to learn the video recording and light stuff. So I'm trying to do a bit more better video quality. But I was thinking of doing like same excerpts, like the sticks, and then throwing in different colors. So showing how you can vary one pair. So you could find out that more about this, like one pair is more than just one sound. So
your sticks that you sent for repair, came yesterday.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so there are still people online. Can I ask you about the sticks? Just a fast one.
No problem. I'll stop recording now.